Okay. Okay, so let's talk lessons.
Okay.
What have we learned?
Okay, so first things first, you know what we did with this one? Again, we have zero equity in this place, but we have treated it, I've managed it for 20 years. We've treated it as if our own. And, you know, Corey's point was, you know, that's a great way to get experience. I learned that this is exactly where I learned how to first put tenants in a place, market to tenants, do showings. I mean, it was great because the guinea pig was not my money, but it was my dad's, which was probably more important to me than my own. But it's a great avenue. So if you're just starting out in real estate, you know, find someone who needs some help and volunteer your time. Again, 20 years of time. Again, it's family, so it's different. But I learned more off of this place than I can ever imagine. And the confidence that that gave me to go forward in talking to investors and talking to other people, you know, I was able to speak to a lot of things from firsthand experience when we started looking for joint venture partners.
So here's the deal, guys. This was a property, like Tiff said, that her parents owned. Her parents were not around to be able to manage it at the time. So Tiffany took on management. Tiffany said, well, listen, I will find the tenants. I will do all the work. I will do all of this stuff. Now, we had no interest in the property. We still don't have any interest in the property as far as percentage ownership or equity or anything like that. But what this enabled us to do at the very beginning was gain experience.
And confidence.
We learned how to advertise for tenants. We learned how to show the property to tenants. We learned how to do a move-in report, to sign up a lease, to collect rent, to deposit rent, to deal with tenant issues, to do renovations. I mean, we've been in here how many times and painted and done those sorts of things.
But like how do I do a lease? What's the legal requirements of doing a lease? Like when you first start out, you don't know those things. And those are all things you have to get in order. So, you know, it's one thing for you to learn that on a property that you're joint venturing for the first time with someone, or when you're buying 2 or 3 at a time or something. But for me, you know, it was an easy transition because this was our first one that we had ever been involved with. So we were able to go ahead and, okay, now I had a lease. Now I knew the legalities of doing a move-in report. You know, now I knew how to market and where I, like, probably was in the newspaper at the time. And the little drugstore had a community board right across the street here. And, you know, I learned how to market to tenants and I learned how to, you know, take a deposit legally and all that kind of stuff. So, you know, for experience, hands down, it is amazing. So I would even offer to do showings for people who have properties for rent so that they don't have to be doing the running. I would say, you do 2 showings with me and I will do the rest. Don't pay me, I'll be your gopher. Just to gain the experience.
And that is so valuable because a lot of times we're talking to people who want to get into real estate investment, want to get into joint venturing, want to bring on partners, that sorts of things. And they say to us, but I don't have any experience doing it. Is this something I can do? Yet I don't have any experience. Go out there and get some experience. And that's really what this property here was enabled us to do. It enabled us to get one property under our belt. And yes, like we said, we didn't have any equity in it. We weren't getting paid for it. But how much value came from learning those lessons, from doing all of those things that you need to do to manage a property. Yeah. Even negotiating the property, exactly, to buy it, to help your parents to do that. So all of those things were so valuable. So even though, yes, we don't at the end of the day have any equity in it and we're not paying cash flow, so important, the experience.